Okay, this is BloodyCageMMA.com, and we're here with Dustin Poirier at Gladiators Academy of Lafayette. You doing all right today, man?
Doing great, man.
Good to hear, good to hear. Well, you were at UFC 129 for the Aldo and Hominick fight.
Yep.
First of all, let's get your thoughts on the fight. What did you think about that fight and how it all went?
The fight card was great, man. There was lots of knockouts, crazy submissions. I mean, the fight card was full of every way you could finish a fight. It was great to watch. But the Aldo and Hominick fight, that was I was just happy to be there and see that in person. It was ridiculous, man. Hominick's drive and his will couldn't be broken. Aldo was just, they were grinding on each other. 25 minutes of non-stop action. It was incredible to see. But both of them just push each other and just weather the storms and go through it, man. It was crazy. Those guys are elite athletes.
Well, that was the biggest live MMA event, in North American history. I mean, what was that like? I mean, just how insane was that, just to be there for that big of a atmosphere,
It was ridiculous. When the lights went off for GSP to walk out, man, the whole place was shaking. It was rattling. I mean, it was felt like there was a thunderstorm, I never seen. I've been to a couple football games and stuff like that, but the energy in there was ridiculous, man.
You just had everything shaking, huh?
56,000 people going nuts, man.
Well, you were in Toronto doing some PR work for the documentary Fightville.
Yeah.
Can you give us some insight on just into what was that experience like, the filming of it and having a camera on you 24/7?
Fightville?
Yeah.
It was good. It took a little while to get used to. I guess just naturally I'm not comfortable with being in front of cameras and stuff like that. Now I'm a little bit more since I've been in front of them so much now. But it just took a little time to get used to. I was kind of quiet and didn't want to say anything stupid. Or then after a while, I was like, man, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I just got to be myself. It's going to come out anyway, who I am.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. So after a couple weeks, I didn't even notice the cameras there. I was used to it.
Well, what's your reaction been to the way it's been received? I mean, it's gotten a lot of high praise from the critics and the media industry and whatnot. I mean,
yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
I think most of the reviews are pretty head on with what the documentary was trying to show. Just that most mixed martial artists are hard working, normal guys with families, and we take this job very serious. And it's not a hobby or something. It's a full-time job, and you have to be very passionate to succeed at it. And I think it shows, and it shows that MMA takes a lot more than just two guys getting in the cage and throwing punches at each other.
Yeah, a lot more dedication involved.
All the reviews I've heard and seen and write-ups on it, have been real good, positive reviews. And the thing I was looking for was to see positive stuff from people who don't know anything about mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
So when I see that, I know it's touching the right angles. And really, it's just the story of the gym and Lafayette and my rise. A couple amateur fights, a bunch of pro fights. It's just the truth of fighting. The movie is.
One thing I thought that kind of came across really strongly in the film was kind of the philosophical approach that you guys take, and it's kind of like a spiritual quest, to always be better in yourself. I thought that was one thing that kind of pervaded through the whole film. One little side note here, the Strikeforce Heavyweight Tournament. Who do you like in that, man?
Like Alistair Overeem.
Do you?
Yeah, I think he can take it home. I've been watching him fight for a long time, and he's a beast, man. And then watching him in K1, then watching him back in mixed martial arts, and he's great on the ground. He's great standing. He's just a terrific athlete, big, tough, strong guy, man. And I think he's probably gonna. I'd like to see him come in the UFC and make some waves in the heavyweight division, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure that's somewhere down the road.
That's gonna be a big time pay-per-views right there.
Right on. Well, within your division, how do you think where do you think that you're at right now? Within the division.
I feel like I'm still lacking a little bit of respect from I've been getting good feedback from fans and stuff like that, but just from the UFC and from I might be top 10 on some people's lists and stuff like that, and that's incredible. That's more than I expect to be. I'm just out here fighting and training, man, and trying to be the best. But for Ronnie Yaya to pull out the fight with me and then jump right into the fight with Chad Mendez a couple months later, and that's for #1 contender.
Yeah. Not
that I'm trying to rush into that, but you just kind of I just feel like one step at a time.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to rush this, but they're gonna have to respect it, man, because I'm coming
eventually.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, you kind of led into my next question. You were supposed to fight Ronnie Yahya, and now you're going to be fighting what's his name, Jason Young, British kickboxer, apparently. What all do you know about him, and and how do you see that fight breaking down?
He's a great striker. He's a technician on his feet. He's really heavy-handed. Really, really heavy right hand, really heavy back leg, man. Great kicks, great combinations, good movement, light on his feet. He's a striker, and he's good at it. But I'm a mixed martial artist, and I think he's on his way. He's beat some really good guys on the ground. He's beat some really good ground guys, some top level jiu-jitsu guys. But I'm gonna push him on his feet. I'm gonna take him to another level on his feet. He's never fought anybody like me before, and I don't take too many steps backwards. So, I'm going to be the judge if he's a kickboxer or not. I'll be the judge of that. And we'll see. I'm going to push him on his feet. I'm going to push him on the ground. I feel like I'm more well-rounded. I have a lot more ways to win this fight than he does. I think he's going to be looking for that big punch. And that's fine, because that, I got technique, man. I got real crazy in my last fight. It might look like I'm a brawler a little bit more. And I'm a better brawler too than he is if he wants to do that. Try not to get into that, but try to be a professional fighter here. But I'm well-rounded, and I'm growing more comfortable in my own skin as a fighter every day. And 6 months, 5 months is a long time to train and improve yourself. And I've trained with Eve Edwards in Texas for a little while. Went for a trip up there, worked on my wrestling with him, worked on my striking. He's a great kickboxer. And my last fight was January 1st. This is June. This is 6 months later.
Yeah, long time to be training.
It's a long time. I'm getting better every day. So you're gonna see a different fighter June 11th.
Well, with the change of opponents, did that change your training any, or your preparation at all?
Not to sound cliche or nothing like that, but I know a lot of guys. I train for my fight. I don't train so much for the other guy. Of course, Ronnie Yahya was an incredible, accomplished jiu-jitsu practitioner that we were getting ready for. Great guard, great sweeps, and I was kind of getting ready for that kind of stuff. My takedown defense a little bit, but I wasn't doing everything, working just my ground. I was still working everything like I do every day. I work my jiu-jitsu, and I work my striking, I work my boxing. I work everything. I'm trying to cover all angles, no matter who I'm fighting. Because, I heard this a while back, and I kind of live by it now with my training. And this is kind of goes into the question. I don't adjust my training for people that much, because I train what I do, because I have no control over what they're doing or how they're training. I don't know what their game plan is or anything like that. So I don't have any control of that. All I have control is myself. So I just get myself 100% ready to fight, ready to battle, and that's all I worry about is me, because I have no control over what they're training for. So I just get ready to battle, fight, wherever the fight goes.
Just focus on your preparation.
Exactly.
Right on. Well, look, man, I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with us and giving us some insight. And I just want to see if you have any sponsors or friends, family, anything like that you want to thank?
Sure. I'd like to thank Tim Crater, for giving me a place to train and a great group of guys, in my hometown. I want to thank Head Rush, big sponsor. VitaFight, a great supplement and a great sponsor and a great buddy of mine. VitaFight.com is the website. Check it out. I want to thank 4 Fighters by Fighters. Nutrition and diet weight cut programs. They really helped me get to 145 pounds this last fight, and everything's going smooth for this next weight cut and everything. I'm right on track thanks to them. Heather and George Lockhart, they play a big role in this. I want to thank De Niro Sports Marketing, Night Oil Tools. Thank you guys. Everybody who's helped me get here. It's been a long road. I want to thank my wife. She tells me I'm the best fighter in the world every day. I couldn't do it without her. And I'm gonna just continue rising to the top. And it's more people on the list. Everybody who helps me train, everybody who's helped me get here in the past, even as an amateur when I needed help. It's been a rough road. And it still is a rough road. Just because I'm in the UFC doesn't mean it's not a rough road anymore. I'm still scraping by.
Yeah.
I might be fighting on TV and stuff like that, but I'm scraping by because I love this job. I genuinely enjoy fighting, and I'm very passionate about it. And I feel like it's my calling. So,
give us a shout out on the Twitter account, man.
Follow me on Twitter @Dustin Poirier. I got a tweet militia, about 3,000 people. I'm trying to get more following me, and follow Bloody Cajun MMA on Twitter also.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.